When I sit down with retirees, one of their biggest fears is they are no longer contributing to their accounts and they are worried about market fluctuations impacting how long their money lasts. Welcome back. I'm Russell Slack. I'm the founder of Guided Seasons Wealth Advisors. And today I want to talk through a practical, rules based framework for balancing income stability and long term growth during retirement. People become so nervous about market fluctuations in retirement that they often leave large amounts of money sitting idle for years. Or they emotionally tie up resources into products they don't understand, quietly losing purchasing power to inflation and wondering why their net worth is stagnant. First, this is not about chasing performance or predicting market behavior. It's about building a structure that helps you find financial peace of mind. Our goal is to create confidence to help you in uncertain times so you can allow your money to continue to help you build what could be a 30-year retirement plan. Real financial peace of mind doesn't come from guessing. It comes from having an intentional plan built on your unique investment balance, your spending needs, your risk appetite, your family structure, and even health concerns. Here's the big idea. We need to balance income security and progress. To start, one of the challenges in retirement planning is that people tend to fall into one of two extremes. Some retirees hold too little safe money. It's all invested in the market, and they feel exposed every time the market declines. Others hold too much safe money because it feels safe. But over time, they need to spend more money as inflation erodes their purchasing power and their investment balances are not keeping up. The goal, it isn't maximum safety or maximum growth. The goal is intentional allocations of your assets to reach the right balance for you. You want enough liquidity and stability to feel secure, but not so much sitting idle that it quietly stalls your progress for combating inflation. At Guided Seasons, we approach this through a rules based framework built around five core principles. That first one is, how much do I keep in my savings or my emergency reserve? Your financial plan starts with the foundation of accessible money in your bank. And according to CFP planning standards, many households should maintain somewhere between 3 and 6 months of expenses in their cash reserves. When talking about retirement, many people naturally lean towards that more conservative side of 6 months because they are no longer having an active paycheck and replenishing savings. This reserve is there for things like unexpected home repairs or a car need or medical expenses or even temporary market disruptions. The biggest value isn't mathematical, it's emotional. Clients frequently describe emergency reserves as a warm blanket because when uncertainty shows up, they know they have the cash available without having to reach out to their financial advisor and disrupt their spending plans at the wrong time. And that emotional stability matters more than most people realize. Well, rule number two, understanding your income stability ratio. This next concept is one most people overlook. It's one of the most overlooked areas in retirement planning. Think of it as your income floor. In simple terms, it measures how much of your essential monthly spending is covered by reliable non market income sources. Sources like Social Security or a pension, or even guaranteed annuity income. Research from retirement experts like Wade Pfau, along with firms like Morningstar and Vanguard, consistently point towards the value of covering core expenses with dependable income streams when possible. In practice, and based on how much your income is from reliable non market sources, your income stability ratio will fall within these ranges. The first would be somebody who's growth focused, a retiree who's happy with less than 60% of their essential expenses covered by Social Security or pension income. They're happy with maintaining a higher market-based balance, and maximum growth is kind of where they're at. Someone may prefer a more balanced approach, wanting to increase their income floor. They might use a part of their retirement funds to create a pension. And I've met several people who are emotionally unable to handle market fluctuations, and their need is to be more conservative in creating a higher retirement paycheck from guaranteed income sources. They're trying to get up to 80 or even 100% of essential needs covered by non-market income sources. Now, neither approach is automatically right or wrong. The key is understanding your own emotional comfort level. When retirees have a structure to help them reach their goals, their emotional and financial peace of mind increases. The goal is to need less cash sitting on the sidelines, reduce the pressure on your portfolio, and ensure that long-term investments stay invested. And we want to provide the emotional buffer needed to handle these market declines so they feel less impactful. This is also one of the reasons our planning process integrates more than just the investments. Retirement planning involves creating a intentional structure to your investments for sure, but it's also about creating that retirement paycheck, reducing the long-term impact of embedded taxes so more stays in your pocket. It's about legacy planning and managing chronic illness expenses with long-term care planning. All of this needs to be viewed as we would a chessboard with intentional planning to ensure your success. Now, rule number 3, we want to allocate these assets based on your spending time horizon. So as we move from defining or enhancing that income floor, this next stage is intentional placement of allocations in your invested funds. And one of the most practical frameworks is often referred to as the bucket strategy. And as research provided by Morningstar and a researcher, Harold Evensky, it works because it allows people to invest their assets how they naturally think about money. Most families already mentally separate money into categories as they plan their lives. They set aside money for travel, for emergency funds. They might have a health savings account for healthcare needs. And you might even have allocated a portion of your wealth towards inheritance and legacy goals. The bucket strategy simply organizes investments the same way. Instead of viewing your portfolio as one giant account of assets, they're segmented on when spending is actually needed. Bucket number 1 is your money market or cash bucket, typically covering anywhere from 3 months to 2 years of spending, depending on your comfort level. Its job is stable income accessibility. Bucket number 2 is bonds. If you're growth focused, you might only have 2 years of bonds, where someone who is either balanced in their approach or conservative, they may push that out to a laddered strategy of 5 to 7 years. This portion is designed to provide income that dumps into your spending bucket, but also provide a buffer between it and your long-term growth allocations. That third bucket should be in stocks. This is your long-term growth engine. Its purpose is to maintain purchasing power and help to offset inflation for what could be a 30-year retirement. The reason this framework matters is simple. It provides stable spending, it provides that buffer, and it gives your long-term investments the ability to go through normal market volatility and protecting you from sequence of return risk and panic selling. Now, there was a new concept you just heard for some. What is sequence of return risk? This is one of the biggest risks that your investment portfolio faces in retirement, and many people have never heard that term before. The danger isn't simply that markets go up and down. The real danger in retirement is being forced to withdraw money from the investment account that has lost value during a major downturn, and specifically over the first few years of retirement. Research from Morningstar, including work from Christine Benz and even Wade Pfau, and the father of modern income planning, William Bengen, They emphasize the importance of maintaining lower risk assets to fund near-term spending to buffer those volatile periods. In practical terms, maintaining cash reserves and bond layers creates something incredibly valuable. Time. Time for markets to recover, time to avoid emotional decisions, and time for long-term investments to give you that compound growth that you need. That added flexibility can make enormous difference during difficult market cycles. Now we're on to rule number 5. We want to eliminate emotional reactions with good planning. You see, money decisions are never purely mathematical. They're emotional. And behavior researchers like Daniel Kahneman and Richard Thaler demonstrated that people naturally experience losses more intensely than they experience gains. That's why retirees often feel more calm when they can clearly identify where near-term income is coming from. Accessible cash and lower risk assets help reduce perceived pressure. They help investors stay disciplined during the volatility, and most importantly, they help prevent emotional decisions at exactly the wrong time. At the end of the day, the right amount of stability is often the amount that allows you to remain calm and confident during uncertain markets. So here's how this rules-based framework comes together at guided seasons. Step 1, we want to maintain roughly 6 months of essential expenses in emergency funds. Step 2, we want to determine how much of your essential spending is going to be covered by reliable income sources. That becomes your income stability ratio. Step 3 is to take the investments, and we want to structure those investments intentionally by your specific spending time horizon. Money markets for current spending, bond layers for medium-term spending, and stocks for that long-term growth and inflation protection. The goal is creating enough structure and confidence so you can avoid reacting emotionally when the uncertainty inevitably arrives. My final thought: to find financial peace of mind, you need to build out your retirement plan with a rules-based approach that you understand. Having the intentional allocations of funds based on your own unique needs, your own comfort levels, and you know how that will accomplish your goals. If you want confidence that your needs are covered, confidence that your plan can withstand uncertainty, and confidence that your money is going to last as long as you do, that needs-based approach, those structured investments help you do just that. Well, if this was helpful and you want to explore these ideas for your own family, we would be happy to help. But as always, be well.